all of you, how do you see this moment that we're in ending? In what scenario does this end? Is it a matter of election or something more calamitous or dramatic?
Well, what I think is this. I think that the intensity of what's going on at the moment, the speed at which things are happening, is very unstable. It's very destabilizing, and it can't go on like that for 4 years. Something has to give. Now, what it is that gives, I don't know. My fear is actually, if the crowds keep mobilizing, if there are large numbers of people on the street, some law and order official somewhere is going to lose their cool. I mean, I fear Kent State. That's one of the fears that I have. I don't know. Something is going to blow. This is when a machine is running as badly as this, something's going to blow, and I don't know where it's going to come from. And I mean, even in the apparently blessed scenario of Trump not lasting very long, then we have a religious fanatic as president. And if you somehow remove the religious fanatic, then you've got Ryan. I mean, we've got a dark road ahead. We have to win the next election, and I think it's completely winnable.
Claudia, well, how do you see this playing out in the medium term, as it were?
Well, one of the things that's been incredibly striking, just in the last month, is how fast things move and change, and luckily that has also been married to a kind of chaotic implementing of these things. So the question is, what happens when it actually gets organized? Which goes to your point.
Yeah, we're getting close to that.
Yeah.
Because now we've actually got people in the posts.
And so for me, I'm a little bit terrified. I don't, McCarthyism is not that long ago. We could go back to that. That's there as a model for us. We still have the warehousing of blacks and Hispanics. What will happen to that legislation? I know Obama had moved forward on that, but now what will happen in terms of a vast number of people in the population?
What will happen at Standing Rock?
What will happen at Standing Rock? Yeah, there are a lot of things out there that are alive and tenuous, and there are many people whose lives are already affected. We had the refugees who got lost trying to cross the border. People are terrified. We have students in campuses who think they're going to be deported. The level of internalized stress is very high for undocumented Americans. So I don't know.
Tony, you wrote a whole movie about disunion, Lincoln. You've written about partition, you've written about racial divide, and I wonder if this is what we're facing now, that a country that is split not just because of the demagogue in office, but that there is a rift that's so profound in this country that it will long outlast Donald Trump. In fact, there was a great discussion that if Hillary Clinton had come to office, that Trumpism would still be very much with us. How does this get resolved in your mind?
I do think it's not insignificant that, the kind of rolling back of things. This is not 1980 and the election of Ronald Reagan. There is an enormous and I think very significant divide between what the sort of psychotic right that has moved into the White House with Trump, what they're after, what this outrageously dysfunctional Republican Congress is after in its shambolic way, and what the American people, the majority of American people want. And we've never had that degree of divide. I mean, we think about Bush in the second term announcing that he was going to privatize Social Security, and immediately his numbers plummeted. But he had actually been reelected. This guy is moving with a kind of an arrogance and recklessness that we've never seen before, in a direction that I don't think the country is at all interested in going. So I think that it's a
part of the country is not.
But a majority of the country. I mean, it's no longer. I mean, they're trying frantically to reassure themselves that the country is still this kind of conservative white male, and it isn't. I mean, it's changed.
Until the election of Trump, I had a mental picture of America, which was that, roughly speaking, 25% of America is batshit crazy. And roughly speaking, 25% of America thinks like I do. And in the middle is the election. In the middle, that middle 50% is the election. And my view was, wrongly as it turns out, that 50%, broadly speaking, was of generous intention, and would not move towards major asshole behavior. Now, I was wrong, and that is making me wonder, what is that middle 50% of America? What is it now? Because if this was a one-off because a kind of charismatic shyster managed to con people, that's one thing. You can reverse that. But if that middle 50% actually is like that, then we're screwed. Then that's America.
Well, the philosopher Gabin says, there is nothing that people must do. There is no way that people must be. And I think we are, for the first time, understanding that is true. And it's not only true, it's also part of who we are.
But the question is, if we've got this half the country that's malleable, let's say, how do we bend them back towards, justice? How do we bend them away from what's just happened? Because we need to have an answer to that.
Salman, Tony, Claudia, thank you so much, and thank you all. We'll see you again in a month.